Hello, and welcome to episode 199 of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No low time. Obed, it's a pleasure to be with you, my friend.
We did it. We're
We
here.
made it.
We
Yes, here
made
we
it.
are.
Yeah, we totally forgot that we had a podcast today.
I know one instance you forgot you were telling me about
Oh my
earlier. You
god.
mixed up what day it was.
Bro.
I was
Yeah.
at one point today, not very long ago, going, wait a second, Joel, this is your notes.
I was corrected by a child. I was like, no, it is the wrong day. It was like, oh yeah, you're right. My apologies.
But in your defense, your kid is way smarter than most. So.
Oh,
Smart kid,
thanks, man.
smart kid.
Yeah, actually, she is. She's pretty sharp. Yeah,
Yeah.
she likes to not act it, but yeah, she is. Yeah. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good aside from just the the busyness that's going on
Yeah,
here.
we
Thank you
got
all
to
for your
catch up a couple
patience.
times this week, though.
We
That was
got to
good.
catch up in
Yeah,
person a couple times this week. It's been nice to see you, my friend. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean we've been super busy and we had technical difficulties, so apologies for the delay in us if you're watching live. But yeah, things are going well. I know we're gonna be talking about what if in a second here. I've over this last weekend took some extra time. Basically spent most of that time on the Switch, playing more of Yoshi's Crafted
Oh,
World.
you got it.
Ton of fun, man. Oh
It's
yeah,
super
tons
chill,
of
right?
fun. Yeah, super cute, super fun. Um,
It is chill. It's not hard. You
no,
play it.
no,
It's like a more like a. It reminds me a little bit of a Little Big Planet.
it does, it
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
it's
especially have
like
like yarn kind of looking characters
yeah.
and the format. But yeah, no, that game's tons of fun. So I got to play a bunch of that.
We're almost at the end on that.
Oh,
I think we're
really?
at like a few levels to finish it. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
It's one of those things that the way that they get you with the whole like you have to have a certain amount of was it stars or whatever to
Oh, the flowers. Yeah,
flowers, that's what it is. Yeah, to be able to present to get through each part. Like it makes me like keep wanting to go back and like perfect my scores. Not
yeah,
just because of the flowers in the sense of you need the flowers to keep moving forward, but really just to like do
yep,
better. Like it's like one of those games that does actually have a good replay value on it as well, I would say.
yeah. Because then after that, after you finish the level, you get to do like the Poochie rescue thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good. Yeah, we went back and got a bunch of flowers. Because we were
Nice.
missing a few to, to progress basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, we went back to a few levels and got a bunch that we were missing. So yeah. Yeah,
Very
no, yeah,
good.
we're almost at the end on that one. So she reminded me the other day. My daughter, she was like, "Hey, we haven't finished." Oh, she was like, "Yeah, I know. We gotta go back to that." Yeah,
Yeah, super
cool.
casual, tons of fun. I a lot of times, like I forget that I can literally like I'm like, oh, I don't have any ammo or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I can just eat one of these guys and
Yeah, Chai Guys and
fire
make
him
just get free
away.
ammo. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great. Tons of
yeah,
fun.
that's good. That's good. It's a cute game. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I got a big update.
Go for it.
Before I do my Zelda update. So when we were doing the Battlefront stream, I mentioned that I was trying to fix one of my N64 controllers because the stick was acting up and whatnot. I ended up breaking it, actually like breaking the stick. It doesn't work anymore. So I went to Gamers Inc., which is the closest like retro shop uh, from where I live, and was able to grab a Hyperkin N64 controller
Ooh,
sort
look
of
at you.
replica. So I like it because it's kind of like a GameCube, like Atomic Purple almost. But what I really like about this, Joel, is that it actually has like a modern. I don't know if you can see it, like a modern analog stick.
Yeah,
It doesn't have like that rudimentary stick that the N64 had. So this feels like a GameCube analog stick, basically.
very nice.
Yeah, it's good. The buttons are crunchy and it feels good, right? It was pretty cheap. It was like $25.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was pretty good, man. I was really happy. They had a pretty good selection. They had that orange, blue. They had another brand too, and they had like a really nice, like really bright, like almost neon yellow. Also, it was translucent like that one. But yeah, man, it was. I was surprised that we got there. I was like, oh, they got a bunch of them. That's awesome. So, because I went in with the intention of like seeing if they had like an OG one, right? I was like, but the stick is like not like a modern stick, and it really does not feel very good anymore. So that one worked out really well. I was also able to grab my physical copy of the Snyder
Oh,
Cut and put my mouth or my money where my mouth is, right? And I said that I was 100% going to support the physical release, and here it is. So I haven't watched it yet again, but there it is. Um, Big update. I finished Zelda, Skyward Sword. I wouldn't say it was a root canal. It was more of a cleaning.
wow.
Yeah,
Just that not fun.
I was not having fun, dude. There were moments I was like, this is just not fun.
Wow.
And overall, in my honest opinion, the game is charming enough that it, you can have an okay time because of the game's charm. It's like a 6.5, honestly, in my
Wow.
like score. Yeah, bro. There were some moments there. It was like I was just not having fun, dude. It's crazy. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So I figured some things out with the combat, right? That made it a lot better. And I wasn't like, oh, here we go again. I gotta fight this thing, and this thing is awful. There were I figured out a few things that made it a lot more enjoyable when it came to the combat. Um, I just feel like the items are not great. Some of the level design is kind of whack. The traversal's the worst part. I think that is probably the worst part of the game is that traversal. It's just you have no what's it called? No fast travel.
Oh,
You have
okay.
no fast travel. Nothing. It was like you need to. Oh yeah. So you need to go to this place. Hey, and before going there, you need to go grab this thing, or go there, come back, and grab this thing, and then go back to the place you were. And you have to like physically go and do the thing, and it's like I don't wanna. I don't wanna. Yeah, dude. I really struggled, really struggled with Skyward Sword. I saw it through though. I did all the side quests. I didn't get all the pieces of heart, but I did all the side quests, and I beat the final boss, and I finished the game. So, um, it was rough, bro. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, don't
Wow.
wholeheartedly. I cannot recommend this game. Like, if you're looking for a Zelda game and you have not played Breath of the Wild, buy Breath of the Wild. Like 1,000,000%, right? What's really jarring is that I popped in Breath of the Wild after that because there's a place in this game that's really like referenced in Breath of the Wild. So it's like I want to go back to that place in Breath of the Wild to see what it is. And then Breath of the Wild runs at 30 and it chugs along really bad. And this game is pretty smooth. Like it runs, dude. If this game, like, bro, honestly speaking, this game on the Wii, to me, right? It would have been unplayable. Like I would have not been able to play that game on the Wii at 30 with motion controls. Nah, bro. It's like it's not for me. It was rough.
Wow.
Um, so like this one at least you can play with a controller. It runs at 60, so it's bearable. It's like I saw it through, right? It was rough, bro. It was very weird because Nintendo games are very high quality, and this is just it. You know what? This is like the way to look at it. This is the rock that was in the middle, right? It's like, oh, Eiji Numa fell over this rock that was on the road, and it was like, I'm not gonna let this rock get in my way anymore, and made Breath of the Wild. That's basically that's how I look at it, right? Without this game, uh, the failures of this game made Breath of the Wild possible. That's in my opinion, right? I mean, of course, I'm not putting everything on Anuma because Monolith and a lot of people at Nintendo had a lot to do with Breath of the Wild, but like it really makes me want that sequel. like right now, I gotta wait till next year, but it really makes me want to like have the sequel to Breath of the Wild like right now. So yeah, man, it was rough. It was very interesting. Very interesting experience. Like I said, the charm alone carries the game pretty far because it's charming. The music's good, the characters are good, and it's super charming. But bro, it's like the gameplay is just not good, and the puzzles are weird. And I don't. I ended up actually looking up a few things like online. I was trying to play without a guide, and I
Wow.
played without a guide up until like just don't want to deal with this anymore, and I just want to get through it. Yeah, it got to that point. Yeah. So, not too great of a time, but I did have a great time watching this latest episode of What If.
Wow.
That was a great episode.
Oh my
A
goodness.
7 out of 10 according to IGN. So,
They liked it a little more too.
yeah. Me too. It's not. S rank like the Guardians episode,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
but it was good. It was good. Like it was probably the closest one. It was probably the second best in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. Man, yeah. I mean, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, every time I think of this series, this has not been the most, how do I put it this way? It's been very entertaining, but has not been the very feel good Marvel feeling that you normally get with their stuff. Like almost all of these are very they're filled with a lot of gloom, a lot of surprises, a lot of death, a lot of drastic changes to things that we were used to. And that's the whole point of it, asking the question, what if? Doesn't this happen? So I love that they're consistent, keeping that being the focus of it. Looking at this episode with Killmonger, you're like, well, what if he was put in a situation where he was given the benefit of the doubt? He actually was respected, in America, and all of us, by a billionaire, and championed as a hero. And also, when he first time he goes into Wakanda, he sees, Baba, and he sees, him as this like, very welcoming person, and like you're part of the family. Would he still respond the same way? Was it just because of how he was treated? Well, we see that it doesn't matter how he's treated. He still has the same drive and the same agenda that he's had in all the other things. And it's like, like it makes me think of Loki a little bit. Like not the same, but it's kind of like how Loki, no matter what happens, he still wants to rule. That's like always been his MO. He still, looks at himself better than everyone else. And even when you watch like, this Loki series that they had on Disney Plus, it's like he's not a good guy, but he's still like the guy, if that makes any kind of
Yeah.
sense, right? It's like the same thing here. It's like Killmonger is not a good guy at all. But man, is this some incredible stuff that this guy has done, is doing, and what an incredible way they showcase Wakanda.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, it just an incredible episode.
Yeah. They also showed how valuable like vibranium is. Like it's super expensive. Like to get like the spear alone like was $10
10
million
mil.
dollars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it was very interesting to see that. I think it was very good all around. It was very good. The Gundam reference was good. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a little much. It's like I like anime. I was like, well, the worst case scenario, we'll have the world's most expensive Gundam model. Sounds cool. Um, yeah, it was good. Honestly, it makes me want again Killmonger back. It's like, is he gonna be back in
Yeah.
the next movie? I mean, who's gonna like what's going on, right? It's like the next movie it's filming right now, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
wrong,
They're making it now.
and they have been very very secretive with everything
Yeah.
that's going on. Um, I don't know if it's because they don't want to, enrage the fan base or what, but they're playing it close to their hearts. They're not putting stuff out there. I don't know, right?
I
Uh,
mean, the only leak that we've heard That's literally the whole point of the whole of this next movie is who takes up the mantle of Black Panther. That's literally the entire theme of the whole movie is who's gonna get the mantle, and they're gonna toy with different characters,
Yeah.
kind of trying to see, and then it's gonna eventually end with Shuri having it. That's what's been put out there. I think it's true, makes sense at this point. The way Disney's been doing things kind of follows a Disney pattern, but
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, they said it's been secretive.
Yeah.
We don't know
They've
until
been
we
super
don't know until we
secretive.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, man, I still think that he should have been recasted. Like,
They still could, even if they choose someone else to take up the mantle.
yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
They still could have because I
yeah.
mean the multiverse is coming.
Yeah, and yeah, the thing is that it wouldn't bother me, right? Because you're not replacing that. It's not Rhodey, right?
No,
It's
no.
something entirely different. If you get an actor that could be as you know charismatic as Boseman was, so I think most fans will be okay with that.
We had 4 movies with that guy. I mean, he did a great job bringing it each time.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Um, but yeah, this episode, man, he got. Black Panther got
Yeah,
real
yeah.
good, and then it was
Stark gets got good.
yeah, Star Claw, like a bunch of people
Yeah,
get yeah,
Brody.
good guy here, yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, no, he had a plan, right? He had this plan,
Yeah.
and he saw it through and got what he wanted eventually. Interestingly enough, this is probably the first episode with no like stinger at the end, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's usually like a stinger at the end. It's like, oh, but this thing is not what it seems. Like the Watcher saying, and
Yeah.
and giving you like a little stinger. Yeah, this was the first episode that sort of like ended with like the the actual end of the episode, and you didn't get anything extra. So it was yeah,
So I got a question for you.
right.
Someone asked this to me recently. I was like, that's a really great question. My gut instinct was no, but I thought about it a little more. Do you think it's possible at any point in the near future that we'll see any of these what if characters appearing in the same way that they are in the cinematic universe?
Not the zombies.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah,
I
sure.
don't.
Yeah, yeah, they
Although
can do
we
that.
sort of kind of got like zombie Iron Man referenced on Spider Man.
Yeah, that's true. So my instinct, so I did think about
It
it.
depends on the
My instinct was
character.
no, but then
Yeah.
I thought I was like, if they're gonna do anyone, it would be Carter, right? Like they could
Yeah.
easily do that.
Yeah.
And Strange. Those are the two ones that I
Yeah.
could see them doing those iterations. I mean, there's a Doctor Strange movie coming, and in the multiverse, a lot of different random characters can come back in different ways, and they're not, it's not the same as getting Chris Evans or something else. Like you're getting some of these other alternative characters in a way that's been already pre-marketed. I wouldn't put my money on these people showing up this way because I think that's the whole point, it's just a side thing. But if anyone wants to do it, I think Peggy could be the first. Like I could see it happening.
Yeah. It wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me to see non-cyborg Nebula. Honestly,
Yeah,
like it wouldn't shock me to see her in like the next
yeah,
Guardians movie. To be honest with you. So yeah. Depends on the character. I think some characters should be left alone. Some characters are worth going back and exploring in a different way. Um, I think eventually, right? Of course, the eventuality of the MCU is that it's all going to be a big what if, because 20 years from now we're gonna get Captain America with someone completely different, right? That's a
absolutely,
what if. So yeah, man,
absolutely. You're
that's
right.
you
It's a good
know
point.
that the eventuality of all of this is what if. So
Is what if? Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
point.
yeah. So yeah, at some point we'll see it. So cool. Um, yeah, Joel. Not super crazy stuff going on this week, but we did get a trailer for a series that I totally forgot was coming out,
I know, right?
and that is Hawkeye. So good transition since we were talking about the MCU. So we got a trailer for Hawkeye. This was came out unexpected. What, on Monday was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked it. It was giving me Die Hard vibes, like during Christmas and this whole like action pack thing. I'm not too familiar with Kate Bishop, but yeah, I really liked what I saw, and I think that it looks like it's going to be action packed, and well, a good time, honestly. So
Yeah.
that's my impressions of it.
Yeah, it's I love that they're fully embracing the Christmas season. I mean,
Yeah,
he looks straight at his kid. I'll be home for Christmas. I
well,
mean, he just straight up, this is where we're at. This is the time of year that they're in. I love that they're embracing that. I love that this is going to be between, like, it's going to be great for us to have this kind of family fall content coming through between the timing of when Eternals drops in the theaters and Spider-Man will drop in the theaters as well. So having, this be the filler
oh
Marvel
yeah, yeah.
content between is going to be a nice little gift to us all, I think.
Do you think there's gonna be any connection to kind of like what we saw with Grogu and Rise of Skywalker? Because if you watch Rise of Skywalker without watching that last episode of Mando before Rise of Skywalker came out, when Rey healed the snake or the serpent, you'll be like, "Oh, you can heal people now with them." And now, Grogu did that in the past episode, so kind of like giving you context that yes, these things are possible. So, do you think that we'll probably see something like that?
Well, I think they've already well, I know that they've already bridged this to another movie. That there's some things that I've mentioned before that if you hadn't watched Disney Plus shows and you didn't watch these movies, these things are connected. Um, if you've seen post credit scenes of a movie, you would know that this is you have to see one to see the other to see where these characters connect. There's also Obed's interesting connections to the Netflix stuff. I don't know if you've seen that Vincent D'Onofrio is actually back as Kingpin for the series. He's back as
Oh,
Kingpin
really?
for this. Yeah.
Oh, wow!
And
Didn't know that.
yeah, and I saw that got confirmed.
Crap.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff that they held out in this
Hmm.
trailer that we get to see, right? And as I think of it, like you're saying, connecting it to the bigger stuff, man, there
It was
has
gonna
to
be in Spidey.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if for Spider-Man to be coming out and you have a
Mm.
character like that's going to be in the show, I can't help but start putting together and start thinking, hey, my spider sense is tingling. I think this guy will certainly, whether it is Hawkeye, whether it is something, I think there's a reason that they have this sticking to this timeline. I mean, Marvel's very strict on their timelines, and there's a reason why certain things got shuffled to the times that they did. There's a reason why Shang-Chi comes out when it does. There's a reason why Eternals comes out when it does. There's a reason why Black Widow came out when it did. And then there's other movies that didn't come out when we thought they would initially.
Yeah.
They're very strict on their timeline, so I 100% expect there to be a thing that you'll need to see before you see Spider-Man.
Totally forgot about Eternals. Like, I have zero hype for that movie.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones I'll be very curious to see how people respond to. Like, we know there's an award-winning director, literally Oscar, best film, whatever, director, which is crazy that Marvel got him before that. But, outside of that, and that last trailer, dude, Icarus is over here flying like Superman. He's got laser beams coming out and super strength. Like,
Yeah, that was a good
basically
trailer. That was a good trailer.
a good Superman type energy going on. I don't know, man. It's we'll see how that goes. But yeah, talking about Hawkeye, that's my thoughts on it. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot of connection there that I think a lot of people are not prepared for. It'll be a great gift for us this fall.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. It looked good. Which reminds me, next week is Star Wars.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I
It's
know.
Friday, right? Friday next week? Or is it Wednesday?
I
It
can't
be
remember
Wednesday.
Visions.
It's the 24th. Yes, Friday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk about it in episode 201 of No Load Time. I don't know what we're going to do for 200, but stay tuned anyway.
Hold on. I see first episode showing as the 22nd.
22nd. So
Yeah.
it's Tuesday. Or
First episode date is September
Wednesday.
22nd. That's a Wednesday.
So same day as What If?
Hmm.
Interesting, Disney. You know, make me sit down for an hour.
Which one do you watch first, Obed? What If or Star Wars?
Star Wars, dude.
Oh man,
Star Wars first.
Yep,
Come on.
that's
not even. It's Star Wars and anime now, bro. Yeah, you gotta. It's the first.
I figured.
It's gotta be the first
love. Come on.
Which, by the way, you mentioned it last week that it came out. The Behind the Attraction on Disney Plus. So I was able to watch 3 of those episodes. I watched the Star Wars one, of course.
Star Wars, yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, watch it and we'll talk about it. Like,
okay.
Come on, it's like not spoilers, but not really, right?
I mean, you and I had watched the Yesterworld behind the scenes on that one.
Exactly.
So now I'm curious to see how Disney did their version.
So they're doing the Disney not the Disney. They're doing the Netflix Toys That Made Us sort of format.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good, right?
Okay.
But what they're telling you on this one, right? That Yesterworld didn't tell you is that you got the people that actually were in the meeting with George Lucas. George was like, George hated it, and George was
Yesterworld can't show that.
Exactly, Yesterworld don't know that. Yeah, so that's the thing that really like brings it to like the next level. So. Very good. They're 45 minutes long. Dwayne Johnson's a producer in this show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, man.
Did not expect that.
So very interesting. It was crazy, dude, that they were doing this ride, and everything had to go through George.
Oh,
everything, dude, and like if that would have been the case for the sequel trilogy, right? That George was there. It's like, you should kind of learn the, even to get some input and not necessarily try to get, wrangled up and drag the movie. I think that would have been way better.
See, here's the thing. Allegedly, to my understanding, they just took his notes and said, thanks. Trash that sucker.
Nah, man.
That's the thing that gets people most angry.
Nah.
You have George at your phone tip. You say, "Hey George, by the way, da da da."
Because that's what they're doing in Mando, and that's why Mando's so great.
If it was me, I'd make him. And then thanks, George. Do nothing of what he says.
I hated it. It's like George talks and he like shows no emotion. I was very angry and I hated it.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's crazy to me because it's like. These are the same people, and I don't want to get on the Star Wars rant, but these are the same people who are just going, hey, we don't have enough source material like how the Marvel comics do and all this kind of stuff. You have George Lucas living and breathing.
Right.
That's where it started.
Yeah, man.
You have got plenty of books. That too. I mean, we can talk about that. But you have the person who said, Star Wars A New Hope, let's make this.
Yep.
Alive, and you just said no.
Yeah. Speaking of, would that make Knights of the Old Republic canon now, since it's actually coming out, and they said everything that comes out is canon?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I'll even say yes.
I'll take it.
It should be.
Yeah. So,
dude, have you seen the stuff with the Obi-Wan series? I think we're gonna get.
I'm staying away from it, bro.
Dude, I think we're gonna get some kind of tease photo, some kind of variety. I don't know, some kind of one of those like release of some kind. I think that's gonna be coming very soon.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot out there. I've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding it on purpose. Yep. Yeah, but that dude, it was very good. I mean, sorry for the segue, guys, right? But
we love Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. But it was very interesting, the whole, dynamic that they had with George and how to come up with a storyline and, we can't do this because it's too violent. So we have to sort of like do it, but give it a reason why it's not violent and all that stuff. So yeah, the whole prepping and when they found the company that did the simulator, like the actual machinery and everything, great. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was really good, really good. So I watched one. I watched the one on Haunted Mansion and Tower of Terror. So basically, watched like the 3 favorite rides that I have in that series. So yeah, Haunted Mansion, of course. Like I've seen like a lot of stuff on Haunted Mansion. And bro, and I totally remember, like, it came back. Like, remember that scene in Ratatouille when Ego tastes the Ratatouille and he goes back to
His
when he
childhood.
was a kid. So I remember, bro, that like PR were like super behind on TV, right? So when I was a little kid, I must have been 4 or 5 years old, and I remember watching the whole Walt Disney building the Disneyland thing in like black and white and like an old TV in my grandma's house, and I remember watching those like dubbed in Spanish, right? Yeah, man. And
Wow.
because I remembered there was a scene in this Haunted Mansion episode where Walt goes and talks to one of the Imagineers, and I was like, bro, I saw this when I was
I've
a
seen this
kid.
before.
Yeah,
Wow.
it
Took you
was
back.
crazy, dude. So it was one of those. It was very good. Like the Haunted Mansion one, also very good. And the Tower of Terror, also excellent, because that one goes into how they changed the California one to the Guardians at the end. So yeah,
Gotcha.
so that was
Oh,
very
that's
good too.
cool. They connected that. Okay.
Yeah, they connected that, and then like the Star Tours is the same thing. Like it starts on Star Tours, right, and it ends on Rise of the Resistance, basically.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. So very good, very good. Recommend it. It's a good watch. But yeah, Hawkeye. Looking forward to it. Staying in sort of like the MCU slash, I guess, gaming sphere now. Anthony Mackie has signed up to uh, play John Doe on the live action Twisted Metal series from
Basically.
Sony. Yeah. Um, cool.
So
Yeah.
so here's my question for you, but because I've been looking it up, I couldn't find it. Where's this gonna air on? Netflix? They don't
Potentially.
say. They
But
just
then
say Sony and PlayStation Studios Productions.
the PlayStation shut down their video store already.
Right.
Yeah.
So where's this gonna go?
This is probably gonna go to Netflix. Let me see. I have the deadline
I thought I
article here.
assumed it was Netflix as well, but I
Uh,
couldn't find it. All I saw was the
let's
studio. I'm like, yeah, of
see.
course, PlayStation, Sony. Okay, cool. I'm like, where do I watch this? Because that makes a difference. Like the studios are one thing, but
Yeah.
the distributor is obviously a huge difference maker on the overall end result on what ends up being seen. I mean, you have Zack Snyder who puts together a film, but then Warner Brothers who distributes it, and you see what happens, right? So that's why I'm curious.
So here's what's interesting, right? At the on the deadline article at the bottom, it says that Sony Pictures Television and PlayStation Productions The Last of Us is currently in production for HBO. But in the article, it mentions that one of the Cobra Kai writers is working on the project, and he's working with someone that produced movies for Netflix.
So they must not have
So
sold it yet.
yeah,
They've not sold the rights just yet, but they got Anthony Mackie on board. So clearly it's validated now.
yeah, probably. I mean, I could see it going to HBO.
Yeah.
Like that's something that HBO now that I think the whole like crazy executive thing they're done with that, right? Now they're the Discovery people, and Discovery knows what people want because
Yeah.
like we've talked about it before, right? That this would be pretty. I think that would be a pretty good match. Like putting this series on HBO. HBO has the money too to like make this sort of like big production, right? Um, and honestly, Netflix has it too, right? So it's a an either or in my opinion, but it's probably gonna be either of those two.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so too.
yeah. It's not
I
gonna
mean,
be
I know
Disney
Sony
Plus.
did make a film deal at least with Netflix. That was something that was
Yeah,
agreed to. Remember we talked about that's why we thought the Spider-Man movies were going there, and we figured out, hey, there's some
correct.
other things going on. But from a show like this, it's no
Yeah,
idea. We'll have to find out.
yeah. Like the movie releases, they have a like a Netflix deal going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Like it's blowing up cars. Sure, it should be fun. You just gotta write it well
Do
and
you know any big
yeah.
Twisted Metal fans? I don't know. I see it out there. I see people
Other
talking
than
about
the
metal.
creator.
right? I'm not
Yeah,
really
I mean
seeing many people that passionate about it.
that was a product of his time, right? And I
Yeah.
guess there could be a story to tell there. But yeah, Twisted Metal, like Ridge Racer, and like all this older like PlayStation sort of like
Oh, if they
attached
made Ridge
properties.
Racer show, I'd be
Yeah.
in.
Other than Tekken, right? Because all these like PlayStation things
Yeah.
like really died already. With the exception of Tekken, that's they're the only ones that, and Gran Turismo, of course. Um, they're like the only two franchises from like the PS1 that are still like really going strong. Like if you look back at PS1, like Castlevania died. I mean, it kind of got
Yeah.
resurrected on Netflix, and I mean they're supposedly working on a game, but who knows, right? Um, and then there was the old like Psygnosis stuff, and that those studios have been closed. Like Sony closed that Liverpool studio already, and Psygnosis doesn't really exist anymore. Which, by the way, there's a that studio that Sony bought, Fire Sprite. We didn't talk about it last week.
Yeah, I saw. I remember that got announced on the blog.
So apparently, some of the guys that founded that studio that are working there were former like Psygnosis people.
Oh, okay.
So this, they're thinking that they're making like a new Wipeout VR for PS5 when the VR2 comes out. So
Gotcha.
like they're working on like really good like VR projects. So that's the thinking behind the acquisition. So yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. I would have focused on something more contemporary. Like I would say the Last of Us was a good choice, right?
Yeah.
For a story to tell, there really is a really good story to tell there. Like I wouldn't have gone overboard and let's do a Horizon show, because every episode would be like like $20 million or something like that, because special effects alone. Um, I would think that they would go for something more grounded, right? Like Twisted Metal, they can put crap on a car and blow it up, and that's all you need. Cars are cheap, so
It's a little more practical.
it's
It's a
exactly.
little bit as strange as that may seem to some people. This apocalyptic, basically cars on fire and
Crazy
explosions. You can
clown
do
and
that.
yeah,
Yeah, crazy clown. Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can do that
exactly.
a little more practically.
Yeah, you don't have to go too overboard with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, well, we'll see what comes out of that. Um, Joe, Forspoken got a new trailer last week. We talked about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. Right, this is the Final Fantasy 15 team and whatnot. That same night, was it the same night or the following night? I think it was the
No, I
following
saw
night.
it the next day,
It
but
was
I
the
don't
next
know
day
what.
because we
Yeah.
didn't talk about it during the podcast. Yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
right. Um, it came out that the writers behind this project are Gary Whitta, uh, who wrote Rogue One,
Rogue
my
One.
my second favorite Star Wars movie. Amy Hennig, who wrote the Uncharted
Uncharted.
games. Yep. Alison Reimer and Todd Stashwick. So there are the writing team. Bear McCreary, who did the soundtrack for God of War, and he's done a few movies too. Um, is doing the soundtrack along with Gary Shimon. So Bear McCreary did a very popular movie recently. I'm trying to go back to see what the
Live
movie
fact
was.
checking.
Oh, he did King of the Monsters, Godzilla, King of the
Okay.
Monsters. Yeah, he did that.
Second one. Yep.
Yep. Let's see. Other than that, he did Cloverfield Paradox and 12 Cloverfield Lane. So he's done the Cloverfield stuff, basically. Um, he did the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. Yeah, and then God of War. Uh, he did some Call of Duty stuff. Yeah, so very good team behind this project, and I am very much looking forward to it, sir. How do you feel?
Well, instantly, this takes this game to a different place in my mind. When I looked at this, I was looking at it naively with a fresh perspective, saying, okay, I don't fully know what to expect of the end result, but what they're marketing to me seems like a nice game. And I didn't have anything bad to say about it when with everything I saw. Now my expectations, like I'm saying, it's taken me now to look at it and think of it very differently. And really now I look at it as could be one of the most artistic and intriguing games that's going to be coming out in the near future. And I say that because when you start putting these names associated, like these aren't the kind of people who phone it in. These aren't the kind of people who just do average stuff. These are people who have delivered very, very big things from a story, from the music. I mean, all of it's like gameplay. We're talking about fantasy team. I mean, there's a lot of really areas that you could say no less than a B, like in their past work on these kind of things. These are A-listers. So when big people like this come together to work on a project, the expectations can only be that much higher. Yeah, man. When you sent over to me that list, I was like, what? Now this sounds like a game that's for me. Like, not that I was against it. I had nothing bad
Yeah.
to say about before. But now you've got my attention even more just by the names associated with it because it's a credibility.
Yeah, it looks really cool though. Like the
Yeah.
yeah, this is definitely on my radar. So I'm waiting for something to be announced. It's was it spring 2022?
Right.
So I'm looking for something more concrete than that to make my choice whether if I'm pre-ordering it or not. So yeah, we'll see. But it looks good. Like honestly, man, it looks next gen. So that's what we want, right? We want next gen
Exactly.
games. It looks next gen. So yeah, man. Joe, let's before we talk about like the um like the huge like Nvidia leak and whatnot. Um, do you see? Do you see that there's a petition to cancel the Wolverine game because it's gonna be PlayStation
No.
exclusive?
Wait.
There's a
Are you
change.
talking about the Xbots are that angry that they're trying to get
Yeah,
this thing canceled?
there's a change.org
That's
petition.
not cool, guys. If anything, just create a petition to say, hey, don't make it an exclusive. Don't make
Yeah,
a petition to cancel a game
cancel
because
it.
it doesn't come in your. If I can't play it, no one can. Like that's
Right?
like ridiculous. Now, come on.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anything, fight for it to be more
I'm
inclusive.
I'm
That doesn't make
sure.
any sense.
Yeah, I'm sure this is tongue in cheek, but yeah, it's funny.
Silly.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
silly. But there was a lot of people complaining that the Wolverine game and the Spider-Man game, they are PS5 games. They are not coming to PS4. They said it is like straight up there. They are not. They're not
Mm-hmm.
coming to PS4. This is PS5 games. So like, and a lot of people are upset. I mean, rightly so, right? Um, I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, but Xbox is going to release all the games on everything." No, the next Forza is not going to be an Xbox One game. The next
No.
Forza, they said, it's a series game.
Right.
They that is not coming to Xbox One. So, you know, you guys are just screaming about something that doesn't even exist. And yeah,
No, it's about time. It's the right time for
yeah,
this.
2023, you'll have
It's time.
already a couple dozen million things out. PS5s out there. Yeah, man.
2 years of the console being officially released.
Yeah,
It's time. That
yeah, it's
makes sense.
plenty. Yeah, it's plenty of time. So, yeah, no, I just wanted to point that out. Also, do you see the God of War controversy, Joe?
No, I'm purposely trying to stay
No,
away from God of
I'm
War,
be-
considering that I don't want to get more spoiled for me at this
I'm being
point.
sarcastic. The animation when he jumps into the boat is the same. How dare they reuse an animation? How dare they?
It's not like Disney ever reused any of their animations in any
Right.
of their most beloved classics ever.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Lion
It's
King,
not like
Tarzan.
Dark Souls. It's not like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne have the same role.
Oh my goodness.
They all have the same role.
Oh my goodness. It's kind of so
It's
silly,
not
man.
like Neo 2, and that Final Fantasy game that's coming out, that Origins game, have the same walking animation and Dutch animation. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't believe they would
How
do
dare
this.
they? Yeah. Waste of money. Right? So, yeah, come on, guys. It's like, Don't be clowns. Stop clowning, honestly, because it's
Stop being silly now.
bro. Yeah, dude. It's like it's a perfectly good animation. Do you think I'm not gonna reuse it for the next game? Come on. It's like Mega Man had the same walking and shooting and jumping animation for 6 games. 6 games, same sprite, same animation. Yeah, dude. Mega Man,
So it keeps it
beloved
iconic.
character. Wait, what?
That's an iconic like that's an iconic choice. Like it's like you have to keep it consistent.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Mario's changed. Yeah, yeah, that's cool, right? But dude, if you like going back, right? And back then, like 4 people made these games back in the NES games in the NES days. But yeah, Mega Man had the same sprite, the same running animation, the same shooting animation, the same jumping animation for 6 games. Mega Man X had the same sprite, same running, same jumping, same shooting, same sliding for 3 games on the SNES. The Zero sprite changed, right? But like the Mega Man sprite was the same. Same on the PS1 games. Like the Mega Man sprite for X4, X5, and X6 was the same Mega Man base sprite, same running animation, same jumping animation, same shooting animation. Come on, guys. Like I'm sure, bro. I'm sure that Arkham Knight has the same animations that Arkham Asylum has.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man is gonna have animations that were on the Spider-Man 2 is gonna have animations that were on the first one.
Absolutely.
It's like, dude, Ratchet, the same swing. When he swings the tool is the same swing since PS2. Come on, guys. It's like you got Gears of War. Let's go with Xbox. Gears of War is the same like cover animation, same running animation, same. Come on, guys.
Looking for something where there's nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Stop being silly. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. You guys are crap. You guys are man babies. So, there was a crazy leak from Nvidia. There was
Oh
a
yeah.
some driver or something that got out there, right, and there was a really big list uh, of stuff that apparently is coming to PC, both from the Sony side, the Microsoft side, and a bunch of other publishers. So uh, let's go over some of the interesting ones that I see on this list. Um, we all knew the Uncharted's coming out, that got announced, but it says here that God of War, Demon Souls, and Gran Turismo 7 are coming out. God of War, I'm assuming it's the first game, right? It doesn't say Ragnarok. So I'm assuming it's the first God of War. Also, Ghost of Tsushima is listed. So, yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, good. I think that's good. I think that the more people can play your game, the better, right? Especially when you can share your game on a neutral platform like PC. Um, of course, yeah. Like Resident Evil was on like on the Nokia N-Gage or something. There's something crazy like that, or like a mobile phone. There's like a Java version of Resident Evil 4. So, um, yeah, why not, right? Microsoft, we kind of know, right? Because they've already said it's like, oh yeah, everything's coming out, for Xbox and Game Pass and whatnot. But the interesting one is that there's apparently a Gears of War 6, um, and there's a few other things that haven't been announced, like a Project Holland that's supposed to be like the Fable game that they've announced a few years ago and hasn't we haven't seen, and a Project Woodstock, which is like the next Forza. So more than likely those games are coming out to PC. All right, here's 2 that are very important to me, and this is kind of crazy, Joe. It's a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. Final Fantasy VII remake. That's I could totally see that. It's on the box on the PlayStation game. Final Fantasy IX remake. Like, is this a full on remake, or is this kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VIII, where they redid the characters? I don't know. Final Fantasy 16. I could see that. It said PlayStation console exclusive. Console exclusive meaning it's coming to PC. So, that's that. And Kingdom Hearts 4. That one's crazy. So, there were rumors that they were working on a Kingdom Hearts 4. I didn't expect to see it this soon. That if any of these games I could call BS on, it would be that one. Like, I could see every other game in this list, but Kingdom Hearts 4, I doubt it. I have my doubts. Capcom, Resident 4 remake, we've heard about that. Street Fighter 6, we've already got hints of that. Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter 6, I could see those happening. There's a remaster of GTA coming from Take-Two, I could see that. There's a Bioshock remaster with ray tracing. So, okay. Yeah, man. So, if there's a Bioshock remaster with ray tracing, I'll probably buy it on PS5. Because can you imagine just seeing the light coming in through the water and oh my god,
Insane.
that would be nuts, bro. I love that freaking game. So yeah, man. Which, by the way, I have oh man, I should download it. I have when it came out on PS Plus, the collection.
Yeah.
I should download and replay it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. Mirror's Edge ray tracing remaster. Tekken 8 coming from Namco. I think they're done with the DLC on Tekken. If you ask me, we may see something next year for Tekken 8. I mean, Tekken 7 has been out since like 2014, 2013 maybe. I think it was like 2013 on the arcades. Let me check. Tekken 7. Let's check the Wikipedia article here real quick. 2015 in the arcades. Came out on consoles on 2017. So, yeah, I could see it. I could see it come out maybe 2023. That could be a possibility. Let's see. Sega Bayonetta 3. Judgment. That didn't come out for PC originally, so yeah. Let's see. Arkham Knight ray tracing.
Yep.
And from Atlas, we're gonna get the full body edition of Catherine and SMT5. So some really good stuff here. Some really, really good stuff. If this is true, if this leak is true, and Nvidia went out of their way to pull everything down, like it's like I'm going through a list.
There's merit to it.
Yeah, like I'm going through a list that some Reddit user put together, but because Nvidia, that thing was out there, Nvidia pulled it and they made the files unaccessible. This thing was like someone that hacked like a file within a driver or something like that. So this is very good for this bodes well if this is true. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This bodes well for the future of PC gaming and also the next gen consoles, because now we can expect to see RTX or ray trace enabled like remasters. So this is pretty big if you ask me. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake, I can see that being announced next year, or being either announced like next year. I could see this game announced at E3 and come out in January, like RE2, or in RE8 was the same, right? It got announced at E3, came out this April.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. So, very interesting stuff. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This is, again, someone that hacked a file somewhere, and Nvidia said, yeah, we'll pull it down. So, but if it's true and you're a PC gamer, oh man, it's a good time. It's a good
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awful time to get into PC gaming though, because of
Parts are nowhere to be
there's no
found.
parts. Scalpers are everywhere, and no graphics cards and all this stuff, right? Um, but the future of it bodes well. Joel, real quick before we go, they announced that there is a black version of the Pulse 3D headset for the PS5 coming. Why? Why? I already have my white one. It matches my PS5. But it's cool. Which means that they're probably gonna come out with a black plate soon.
Yeah.
That's more than
I
likely.
mean, you
That's
get the
what's gonna happen.
controller, the
Yeah.
headset. Now you get the plates.
Yeah. More than likely that's gonna happen.
Will you
Here,
be
probably in a
switching your
couple of months.
plates?
Huh?
Will you be switching your plates when that happens?
Possibly. Possibly. Yeah, and it depends on how it looks. I mean, I
I'm
like
good with the
everything.
white. I'm happy.
I like everything to match, though. I like everything. I like everything to match. So I like to match like my headset with the console
Dude,
and
your
the
console
controller.
matches your car.
I know my console.
I
It's so
mean,
true.
it's pretty legit.
It's so true. Oh man, yeah. I like the whole stormtrooper sort of like black and white
Yeah,
look. Yeah,
good look.
yeah. I'll probably leave it. So, but if you haven't gotten a Pulse 3D headset, yeah, Midnight Black's coming out.
Good
Do they have
option.
a date on it, or did they say a few weeks? Let's see.
I got the blog up here.
Yeah. I don't see a date. It says here coming weeks. Rolling out globally, participating next month.
Yep, launches next month.
Yeah. So Christmas list.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
for sure.
Joe, do you think retailers when I was speaking of retailers, I'm talking Best Buy and probably Target and Walmart, or GameStop. Do you think retailers will have PS like next gen stuff on Black Friday, like in
Yes,
the store?
yes, 100%. It will be ticketed like all these other things are. Hey, you get a ticket, and if you don't have a ticket, you ain't getting one. We only give for the amount that we have in person. Yeah, they'll do it, and
Okay.
it will be a hey, this is another basically restock that we're doing this way
So instead of doing the restock on the website, they'll just
online.
do it. Yeah,
They'll do it in person.
they'll do it in person.
If they don't, it doesn't make any sense. There would have to be like are we having another shutdown at that point? Is like the questions I'd be asking, right? That's a different conversation to be had.
Yeah.
But as things are today, yeah, they'll have them.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I guess time will tell on that one. We shall wait and see. All right. So with that, so the topics that we had on the list, sir.
That's right.
If you feel comfortable, just go ahead and plug us in, and we'll go home.
Yes, sir. Everyone, thank you so much for taking your time to watch and listen to us here at No Load Time. We want to invite you to stay connected, stay subscribed. Subscribe to the podcast version on your podcast platform of choice. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us on your podcast platform and subscribe. We also invite you to subscribe to our video version on our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the videos, share them with everyone. We really appreciate that. We are also coming to you live right now from Twitch. So if you are not doing so right now, make sure to follow us on our Twitch account. That's No Load Time altogether. No Load Time on Twitch. Make sure to follow us there. We'd really appreciate that. You also can follow us, of course, on our standard social media accounts. That'd be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Make sure that you also send us an email if you have any questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you. So you can email us at noloadtime at gmail.com. That email again is noloadtime at gmail.com. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to having you on our next episode, which will be our 200th. Stay tuned. More to come.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.